Yes, so we were discussing introduction of the presentation. So we have just seen how we conducted the introduction part. Always remember, try to check for the understanding of the learner at every step. Here, it was very easy when the teacher said that, okay, this is the option. And she could have gone to the next one, but she didn't. She always made sure that she checks for the understanding of the learner as well. She asked questions which were related to his understanding. What questions? She said, do you agree that option number 3 is correct or option number 2 is correct? She asked for the agreement. Do you agree and why? Okay, so let's move on to the second segment. Remember, always try to ask questions which will help you in understanding the learner's understanding also. Yes, huge network issue. Now, actually, it's not a network issue, it's a power issue. So as the power gets cut, yes. Okay, coming back to, am I audible now? Everything is fine now? Okay, great, great. I hope it doesn't go off again. Okay, so this is the second part. This is the body. Let's have a look. Yes.
Okay. Now, a body has two parts. Which are these two parts, Prayas? Can you please read these out?
Argument and evidence.
Argument and evidence, right? Do you remember the second game that we played? Unlock
Yeah.
Holmes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So the first piece over there in Unlock Holmes also, where you were reading a sentence out loud, that was the argument. Can you tell me what is an argument? It's written right over here.
Statement that establishes a point of view or a claim.
Right. Like your claim, or what is the statement that you want to convey, or you want people to get convinced on. And with an argument, we have to always give it evidence, right? Which you were also trying to identify in the Unlock Holmes game. Yeah. So
Right.
you provide a proof, right?
Yeah.
So yes, so we have already solved two cases. So let's just look at once again at one of these, right? So remember this line, the argument that we had read, employees should get paid for sleeping. And for that, we had chosen the third evidence. Yeah.
Right.
And why, can you just, I know you already know this, but just to remember and revise, why did we choose the third one as the evidence?
Seemed like researched and had some factual information involved.
Absolutely, right? So evidence has to be something that is researched point, a factual data, documented information. Then only we will be able to support our argument, right?
Right.
Great. So again, we are going to go back to our speech where, our Madhavan is giving the same speech. And here I would want you to continue to identify arguments and evidence. There may be one argument or more than one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me then go to his speech.
That I have dreamt for my nation. He said, if I have 6 hours to cut down a tree, then I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. There's a great philosophy in that. In this era of instant gratification, we just keep thinking we can achieve all these goals by just tweaking this, tweaking that. It's not true. I really believe that, that a missionary zeal is required to make that quantum change. That can make 2030 what I'm dreaming about right now. And just let's look at India as a country. What a unique nation, seriously. Thousands of years old of culture and tradition, many invasions, being ruled for many years, and we still somehow managed to maintain our identity. We still somehow have managed to maintain our Indianness, our beliefs, our faith. And, there has been, we have our drawbacks. There is corruption, there is violence, there is differences between the different religions and sects and castes and everything. But I can't help but think, looking at India, at the geography, that we're not doing really that bad. Look at all the other nations around in the world. Look at our neighbors. Compared to that, there is somebody in India who's doing something right for us to be called a growing economy and being projected as the third largest economy in 2026 and the most educated and young nation in the world. And it's still functional democracy. So let's first accept the fact that there is somebody, some people in India with the right ideas and the ability to lead the nation to where we are today.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So yes, so do you think you were able to identify the arguments and the evidences from here?
I guess I was.
Okay.
One of the arguments that I identified was when he talks about India as a growing economy,
Mm-hmm.
and the evidence being the census data that he talks about, that we are world's like third largest growing economy,
Absolutely.
and we have leaders and stuff like that.
All right. Very good, Prayas. Very good observation skills, I must say. And was there any other argument as well?
In the start of the in the speech, he also mentioned about diversity a lot. So there's
Yeah.
diversity in religion, dialect, sex, different things, and still there is a unifiedness or Indianness that he says within us. That is something.
And he also gives a evidence for that. Can you recall what
Um,
was the evidence?
I don't recall.
No? Okay, no worries. Let's have a look. So you're absolutely right for the first one. You have identified one of the argument really well, where he talks about, look at our neighbors and compared to them, there is somebody in India who is doing something right for us to be called a growing economy. And then he
Mhm.
shares the evidence, what you rightly mentioned, Priyas, that it is projected as the third largest economy in 2026, right?
Right.
On the right hand side, you will see actually the second argument that he makes. Of course, there is no factual, like a number or a figure over here, but he does give an evidence to this also. So rightly, you were mentioned that, he talks about India being a diverse country and with a lot of things. And then he also says that, we are also capable of finding very unique solutions to the problems that generally the world faces. And then he says,
Right.
we found freedom through non-cooperation, non-violence, and talks about, how Mahatma Gandhi led the entire freedom movement. Yeah. So
Right.
this is the second argument and evidence that we could find.
Mhm.
Yeah. So can you
Okay.
see that how, each and every argument that he was sharing was supported with an evidence.
Evidence. Right.
Now, what do you think we'll be doing now?
I guess we'll go back to our example and put the same thing.
Exactly, you got it now. Yeah. And so amazing mindful performance, Priyas, on identifying the argument and evidence. And we go back to our topic, which is companies should go back to working from office. So here are a few ideas for
I'm so
you.
sorry.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, so I was saying that there are a few examples here that you can refer to, but what I would want you to do is come up with your argument and a supporting evidence, and you can take help from the above two statements given here.
Okay. I'll just give it a read and
Sorry, say that again, please.
I'll just give it a read and then I'll.
Sure. Yes, please do. Please go ahead.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. So what would be
So
your argument and evidence?
my argument would be work from office helps people to be more productive, deliver their 100%, and meet deadlines in an efficient way.
Okay.
And according to a study or a survey by the HRs about like HRs of Society of HRs, about 60% of professionals were reported that employees are more productive when working in the office.
All right. Interesting. I see how you've added your own points also, that being productive, meeting deadlines
Right.
at work and everything. And then you gave your evidence as well. Very good. Okay. Will you be able to remember these points? Because towards the end, I'm going to ask you to give entire presentation. Do you want to like quickly jot these down?
I will.
Yeah.
Right. So this was the first part, and this is the introduction.
Your
of
own
the-
points also.
Sorry,
Then
this was the second part. That's building the body. Now we have already built the body. Now we'll move on to the conclusion part. Let's have a look.
According to a study or a survey by the HRs about, yes.
okay, great. So yes, so we have built our body as well now. It's well built. Yeah, let's move forward. So yes, so we have to remember that, any time that we want to convince someone and while we are writing a body, we have to give an argument and a supporting evidence. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, now comes the last part, which is, what is the third part, Priyas?
The conclusion.
The conclusion, correct. And can you see the two parts of conclusion also here?
Yeah. Summary and plea.
Summary and plea, correct. Now let's play one last activity. before we
Okay.
go to our final presentation, we'll be also watching our Madhvan's speech again. But before
Mhm.
that, one small activity for you, okay? So
Okay.
for that summary, what is it? It's about condensing the main points from a text to a shorter form, being more brief, right?
Mhm.
And a plea is what is a plea, Priyas? Can you read that, please?
It's a formal request or appeal that is made to someone.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So now this game is called Coin Size. What do you think this is coming from? Which word are we trying to say here? Is it really
Concise.
concise? Absolutely right. So you will be given a paragraph on positive thinking, and
Okay.
you can take a minute and you have to
Mhm.
summarize the paragraph in your own words. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
So this is the paragraph here.
Okay. Do I need to read this aloud or can I read it in my mind?
It's okay. You can whatever works for you best. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So how would you want to summarize this?
Uh,
Please go ahead.
good. So the paragraph talks about. Sorry. I'll just go to the summary.
Okay. Yeah.
Um. Okay. So when we focus on the positive things in our life, we take a positive outlook.
Okay.
It aids our. It has mental health benefit. It has reduced stress, improves immune system, and life satisfaction. And this has been proven time after time. So that isn't.
Okay. Okay. Nice attempt. Nice attempt, Riyaz. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, would you want to see how we have also tried to summarize it?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this was the first one. Do you think this
Mhm.
is a good one?
I guess too long.
Too long, lengthy, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the second one. Very similar to, I think, what you also mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you the third one. What about this one?
Very concise, very short. Yeah.
Very concise, short, right? So we
Mhm.
just clubbed all the benefits of positive thinking, and we are saying that positive thinking has numerous benefits, including
Right.
increased chances of success and improved physical and mental health. Right. So rather than
Right.
mentioning about all the points, because all the points have been discussed, so we just
Mhm.
summarized it in few lines. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you see where you could have also improved in your summarization?
I have. Yes.
All right. Okay. So now again, we go back to the speech, and I would want you to identify the summary in the
Mhm.
speech. So, yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
The second. Allow me a second, please. Just
Yeah.
all right. Are we ready to watch the video?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I dream of a 2030 where students the world over will dream of a blue card, will dream of having once actually come to India and study and imbibe the knowledge that we have as a nation. It used to be true. We were the first university in the world. Nalanda was a university where people came in from far and wide. So it's not a pipe dream. It's a practical dream that I have, and I think that's easily attainable. And finally, before I wind up, I think I dream of a 2030 where we have a meritocratic electoral base which selects its leaders and whose leaders believe that it is more important to serve with a missionary zeal.
All right. I think that would be it. Okay. And yes, so I would want you to now tell me what part of it was the summary. Okay. Okay. So what was it?
So I guess he talks of like he summarizes in a way where he emphasizes on the rural India part.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about how rural India should be also as developed and as aspiring as the rest of the world or rest of the country.
Perfect. And was there any plea that he was making?
No, I don't think so. He didn't plea anything.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Again, very good observation skills, Prayas. So this part, which is written on the left-hand side, is the summary, where he talks
Mhm.
about, as you rightly identified. So I dream of a 2030 where rural India is as developed as the rest of the world, is as aspirational as the rest of the India, and so on. Yeah. So he's
Got it.
summarizing his dream in a really
Mhm.
articulate, simpler manner.
Right.
Yeah. And yes, you were right. There was no plea made. So not every presentation may have a plea. But yes, when we are trying to convince someone on a topic, then we need to make a plea towards the end, right? Like a request.
Right.
So yes. And now
Understand.
comes your own presentation, accurate observation, as I already mentioned. So going back to your topic, Priyas, about companies should go back to work from office.
Mhm.
What would you want your summary and plea to be? And you can use these sentences to frame your complete summary and plea.
Okay.
You can take a minute or so, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I would like to point out that work from office leads to increased productivity, better physical and mental health,
Okay.
and a healthy lifestyle. I
Mhm.
would hence request all companies to make some amendments in their policy and switch to a work from office role, which has been the case for so many times.
Amazing. Amazing. Great. Thank you so much, Priyas. I hope you remember your words again, especially for summary you made.
Yes. So this is the last part of your creating presentation, and that is the conclusion, which consists of two parts, which is summary and plea. In the body, we got disconnected in between, but I'll just reiterate on the body point. There, when we are talking about arguments and evidences, you don't need to do the activity there because activity has already been done in the Unlock Holmes games. So in that game, the activity was already covered. So we just did the video and the presentation part. Okay. So this was the conclusion. Introduce what are the different parts of conclusion, that is summary and plea. Again, you must have seen all the three parts that we introduced of a presentation. There was a approach. The structured approach was activity, then video, and then the presentation. Now comes the final showcase, where the whole thing has to be done all together. Let's have a look.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All the pieces of your presentation, and then also making a request, a plea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready to give your presentation, combine all the pieces of your presentation and be also able to deliver it now?
Sure. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I love the energy. So final showdown now, Priyas. Remember, we have spoken about using our hands,
Mhm.
our face, eyes, and voice, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here are these slides that may help you as well. So you can refer. Do you remember which hook you chose?
I remember holding my head.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. All the best, Priyas. All the very best.
Yeah. Thank
Do
you.
you need a minute to be ready?
Yeah, I'll just take like 5-10 seconds to just go through it all.
Sure, sure.
Good. Let's.
All right. Okay, I'm very excited. So yes, so imagine you're convincing me to allow work from office. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, all the best.
Thank you. I remember holding my head and looking at the screen with so many irritated eyes. And I said to myself, I was done. I decided to start working from office now. Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to present my view on the topic why companies should go back to work from office. Work from office helps a lot when it makes us our lifestyle better. It improves our physical and mental health and also increases productivity. This has been researched well, and also according to a study taken by HR reps, it was found out that 60% of the employees found that their productivity was much more increased while working from office. At the finally, I would like to point out that work from office leads to increased productivity, better physical and mental health, and improved lifestyle. And I would hence request all the companies to make small amendments to their policy and switch to a completely work from office, as it was the case 2 or 3 years back.
Amazing.
So that was the final showdown.
Work from office.
Where the learner has to present on the topic. Yeah, he has to bring everything together, introduction, body, and conclusion, and then he has to speak. Then
Also, according to a
this is not very important. Still, I'll just go ahead and show it to you. The feedback and the last 3 key takeaways from the session.
and I would hence request all the companies
Very, very well done. I could see you also, on the spot adding some more points that were not there earlier in the slides. I really liked how you also customized your presentation. Amazing. Great. Congratulations. And
you.
towards the end, is it okay if I give you quick feedback on your presentation?
Sure, of course, I'll
Or
love
maybe actually, why don't you share? What do you think you did really well in your presentation?
that. I could have worked better on the fluency part, I guess.
Okay.
I broke down in bits and pieces.
Mhm.
I did well on the hook statement. The hook statement was really good. I was able to remember the entire study part that was there.
Yeah.
So that is something that I think I did well.
I agree. I think you identified a really good hook, and I think you were also able to, say the argument and add on your points and give a very good evidence, and then summarize it pretty well. So I really liked how you were able to put in your content. That shows your critical thinking skills as well. I think in terms of delivering, I felt like I do agree with your observation, and again, I think you're very self-aware also that you could have been definitely more fluent. And I saw you started using your hand gesture, like I was holding my head. That was really nice. But I felt like while you were sharing more, it sort of like you
Flew
didn't
away.
continue to use it.
Correct.
So I think in general, whenever we are giving presentation, it always helps to use some gestures, give more expression. So that is something that we can work on. Yeah.
Right. So this one was final feedback by the teacher. You can always ask for the learner's opinion as well. And finally, asking for 3 key takeaways. That's the last part. So final showcase, you give time to the learner to present on the topic, share the feedback, and ask for 3 key takeaways. Now, many of you must be wondering, where should we use SparkX in this? I would suggest you to use your SparkX in introduction to PS skills, or probably you can use your SparkX in context setting when he is giving the introduction. Actually, it should be after introduction to PS skills. You can just tell him to introduce himself for like 1 minute. It won't take much time. Okay. Or probably what you can do is, since you have to use SparkX, you can ask the learner to, record himself in just for the introduction part, the hook statement and the thesis statement. That much you can ask the learner at the end to record himself. Clear? Okay. So you can improvise where you want to use SparkX, and then you can go ahead. Yes, Nidhi?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, as you mentioned about SparkX. So, on the Willow interview, they also suggest us to discuss about SparkX, but at the time we are not having any access, and neither we need to present it. So at that time, I felt it hard to articulate about how we can use a SparkX in the demo session, because we are not having hands-on experience on it. So can you just guide a bit about it so we can use that tomorrow in our Willow interview session? What is there in SparkX?
Was
A
there
bit
any
of
question?
highlight.
No, first let me ask you, in the mock, in the
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
did you have any question
yeah,
like
yeah,
that? Okay. What was the question?
yeah,
Can
yeah.
you
It
tell
was
me?
it was like that at the 11th or 12th question, it was around where they requested us to use the SparkX tool and help the learner to understand that how they are going to use it ahead in the classes, like in that way.
How they are using it? That would be the parent-teacher interaction. So you have been already trained on that. Day 3, we have already discussed about SparkX. Now, what we are going to tell is SparkX is basically a tool which helps the learner to record themselves. They can record videos of themselves, and it will serve as a reference so that we can understand the progress of the learner, be it a senior child or an adult learner or a junior child. So it acts as a reference first thing, and it also it gives the parents an instant output of whatever their child has learned. So that is one reason. And we are also going to do SparkX, a little bit of SparkX in the second in the 5:30 session also. Okay, in the junior
I
segment.
have another query. Can I please ask that?
Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, actually, what happened yesterday when I was giving my mock interview, at last we are asked to fill up a form where they ask us the name, email, and phone number. Then I filled up the alternative email ID, which was not used earlier in the process of Planet Spark. So that was what I was a bit concerned about, because and as I was hurrying to submit it on time, so in the submission form, rather than using my already validated email ID by Planet Spark, I use the alternative one. So will that
Whatever-
create any issue?
Yeah, it will have issues. It will have repercussions. The ID that you have used, you will get the results on that ID. You have to be active there. And for this, please ask this thing from Gaurav sir. Tomorrow you have a query session. Okay, it's tomorrow. By mistake, I said today. No, it's not today. Give me a second, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it is tomorrow. Tomorrow you will be informed about the query session also. It will come up on your
Yes.
dashboard. If possible, please ask Gaurav sir also what are the repercussions, because operations
Ma'am,
related, I won't be able
what
to
would
help.
you suggest that the interview that I will be giving tomorrow, so you will suggest me to go ahead with my validated email ID and phone number,
Absolutely.
no?
The registered email ID that you have given to the Planet Spark, the same email ID,
Okay.
please use it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
See, if the mock 1 website is down, please raise it with the support team. And in case if that is delayed, it will be taken care of. But if it is because of your network issues, then that's a different issue, because yesterday many of the teachers have given their mock 1 in the afternoon time. So Vistar, you need to check with your network connection also. Okay. Shalini, if your laptop has got damaged permanently for your, okay, in that case, you will have to talk to the support team, and if possible, join the query session tomorrow. Share it with Gaurav sir. If you cannot buy a new one, then I would suggest you to wait for a few days and then start your journey at Planet Spark. HR related question, I'm really sorry. If the website was down, then it will be taken care of, I said. Okay. Shalini, it will be, time is given on your dashboard. I don't know the time. Tell the learner about the counselor session and discount code thing, like in the adult one. No, in the senior one. Shavi. Yes. The parent teacher interaction is very similar in the grown up segment also. Yesterday I was facing network issues. Okay, mock related questions, you can ask it in the query session. No, query session is not mandatory. Query means what? If you have a query, you will attend. If you don't have a query, you may not attend. See, mock related questions, yes, please, those who have no queries can drop out. Thank you.